Okay, so I'm not going to show you the problem for this one because I've already solved it and checked it. But it gave us, well, let's see. It gave us there we go. Now I pasted. Okay, so it gave us y equals the third root of 8x squared minus 7. So first of all, that's not very pretty. We have to change that. So that changes into y equals parentheses 8x squared minus 7 to the 1/3 power. If it was just the square root, it would be the 1/2 power. Okay, so then this is just back into chain rule. Okay, so our first is going to be this, and our second is going to be this. So first we do 1/3 times 8x squared minus 7, and then 1/3 minus 3/3. 1 minus 3 is -2. So that's our first one. That's the derivative of the whole thing. And then we have to multiply it times the derivative of the inside, which is 16x. Okay? Now, if we were going to simplify that, we would put it back in the form that it was given in, but it did tell us not to use radicals. So this right here would just be your answer. That's it. Like I said, I've already put that one in. It is correct to be set up that way. So as long as it accepts it, I'm happy with it. And I think she will be too. Okay? So I'm going to reset this for the next problem. Specifically because it uses quotient rule, and I haven't done a video about quotient rule yet. So I'm going to put that on the side, what quotient rule equals. Okay. So quotient rule, let me write it the way that we wrote it originally so that I make sure I'm telling you exactly the way that we should be doing it. If I can find the notes that I rewrote for it. Here we go. All right, so quotient rule. And really the order of this depends on how they set it up, but this is the way that is the easiest, in my opinion, to remember. So it is going to be G times F prime minus F times G prime all over G squared. Okay? There would be of x there, but just to save a little bit of space, I'm not writing that. Same thing for product rule. Okay, so the question that it gives us is this. So I'm going to go ahead and write the problem. Okay, so now that I have written the problem, we're going to go and make that prettier. Okay, so that is equal to 8 over t cubed plus 7 to the 1/2 power. Okay. Now, technically, for anything that uses a that has something it's divided by, it really should be quotient rule. In this case, we really don't have to use it because we're not going to get anything. The prime of a whole number is just going to be 0. So we're going to flip this. So I know I said it would be quotient rule, but it really isn't. It's just kind of set up similarly. So we're going to set this up again. And it would just be 8 times t cubed plus 7. And that would all be to the negative 1/2 right there. And so then we would have our, we could still do our product rule there, which in this case we would have f equals 8, f prime equals 0, g equals the whole thing, and g prime equals the derivative of the whole thing plus the derivative of the inside. So negative 1/2 t3 plus 7 to the negative 3/2, because that would be negative 1/2 minus 2/2, times the derivative of the inside. So 3t squared would be the derivative of the inside. Okay? So then we would have f times g prime plus g times f prime. Now in this case, we know that no matter what this is, when we multiply it by 0, it should just come down and make it a 0. So we would take all of this and bring it down, and then this would go away. I'm going to double check that just to be on the safe side, but I am fairly certain of that right there. Okay. So technically correct, but we would continue it. So all of this to the right would go away, and then we would multiply our individual stuff. So our 8 times our -1/2 times our 3t squared, and all of the rest would stay like it is. Okay. So then we would say 8 times a -1/2, which just gives us -4. And a -4 times 3 is just going to give us -12t squared times t to the 3rd plus 7. And we could still take this, and since we have this negative exponent, we could take it and say -12t to the 2nd over t to the 3rd plus 7 to the 3 halves power. Either one is technically correct. It does say it wants positive and negative exponents, so we should be able to just put it in this way right here, the one that's not a fraction. So I'm going to do it that way. If it's not completely simplified, it should tell me and not count it completely wrong, since it's still the same answer, just not the pretty version. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And it's looking like it's going to accept it, so that's good. -12t to the 2nd times t to the 3rd plus 7, all to the -3 halves. And that is correct. All right, I'm going to stop this one here and start another video.